Now in this particular lecture, we are going to create an assembly using as-built joint, which basically positions components relative to one another and then it creates a relative motion between them. So to demonstrate the same, we are having this cam and follower assembly over here. Let's animate the model. So we are going to create this particular assembly purely using as-built joint. So let's begin with a new design. And now here in the pre-made assembly itself, you can see we are having 4 basic components. This cam, follower, shaft, and this base frame. So we will be using the same procedure, creating components one by one relating to each other. So first we are going to create cam. Let's save the file so that we can have a name for the head assembly. Let's name it cam follower. Now to create this particular component, we need to create a sketch in one of the vertical plane, and then we need to create a circle of any dimension followed by another circle which is inside this one, and then a smaller circle. So basically what we are creating this particular profile. Now let's create another circle by tracing the origin somewhere over here, and its diameter should be equal to or a bit less than this one. And let's make it tangent to the outer circle. Now invoke the line command, select anywhere on the outer circle, and then maintain the tangency till this newly built circle. Same thing here as well. Now invoke the tangent constant, select this line, select this circle. Again select this line, select this circle. After that, invoke the rectangle command and center rectangle. Select this center point and create a rectangle like this. Just delete these construction lines of the center rectangle. Invoke the trim command, delete all the unwanted areas, and we are good to go. Now here select this profile, this one and this one, and let's press pull it symmetrically. Let it be 5 mm, or it can be any dimension. Operation would be new body and click on OK. Now as you can see, the sketch is gone, so we can always show the sketch from the browser inside the component, that is the cam. Just click on here, or you can just select this and press V in the keyboard, and the sketch will be shown. Now select this profile, right click, press pull, again symmetric, and this time we are going to extrude it outwards like this. Let it be 7 mm only. I want to extrude it like 2 mm outwards only, and click on OK. Operation was join. So our first component, this cam, is created. Just hide the sketch, activate the head assembly, and create a new component. Let's name it follower. Now for this one, we have to select the origin again. So just show the origin. This is very light in coloration, so you have to be very vigilant here. Select this particular plane on which we have created the earlier component, and then create a sketch. Now we need to project this one. Press P in the keyboard selection filter as sketch entity and click on OK. And then invoke the circle command, trace the origin and find a prominent point somewhere over here and let it touch the projected circle and the tangency is made. Now here again make a small circle. Invoke the rectangle command, 2-point rectangle this time. Trace the center point of the circles that we have created till the inside circle and start the rectangle. Let it be sufficiently long. And then use the coincident constraint. Select this point in the rectangle and then this circle. Now the length of this follower depends upon the stroke length. That means this distance from this particular point to this one. Let's measure it. So it is like 61 millimeter in this case. Let's measure our follower. It is just double, almost double of the dimension that we have seen, or basically it's double the stroke length. So this is the most prominent way of making a cam and follower of this type, because as you can see in this particular pre-made assembly, when we are animating the model, the follower is jumping upwards up to the stroke length, and the stroke length was what? Between this point to this curvature over here. So the follower has to be made sufficiently longer. Now just edit the sketch again and let's trim the unwanted areas. And now we have to extrude this particular profile and this one as well. Let it be symmetric only. Select this surface and let's make it a little bit lesser and click on OK. Now show the sketch. This time select this profile, hide the body and select this profile. Show the body. Right click, press pull. Again symmetric. Snap up to this surface and let the operation be new body and click on OK. Now our follower is also ready. Just hide the sketch and activate the head assembly. Next, we need to create this particular shaft followed by this frame. So for this, create a new component. Let's name it shaft. Now for this one, we need to extrude this particular profile. So what we will do, from this surface, we will create a sketch. Then we are going to project this complete region. Press P in the keyboard, select this region, press anywhere in between here and then click on OK. Now finish the sketch. Select this profile, right click, press pull up to this surface. Click on OK. Now create a cylinder on this extruded surface. It will snap to the center point and then it will snap to the outer point. Let's give it some proper dimensions. It can be anything in your case. Let the operation be join and click on OK. So this here created our shaft as well. Now the only thing that is remaining is to create this particular base which is joining the shaft to the follower. So for this, let's again create a new component. Let's name it base. Now for this particular base component, we need this particular plane. So create a sketch on this plane. Project this particular body, that is the body of the shaft, and then anywhere here you can create a 2-point rectangle. Now invoke the line command. Now from the center point of this created rectangle, let's start drawing a vertical line. Let it be sufficiently long. Then a horizontal line. We should be close enough to this particular surface of the follower, but it should not be touching it. And create a fillet over here. Finish the sketch. Select this rectangular profile over here and create a revolve. For the axis, you can select this projected sketch. Click on OK. The sketch is hidden, so we can show it from the browser. Now for this profile that we have created, we are going to create a pipe. For the path, we will select this. And section is circular, but section size is very large. Let's reduce it to like 10 mm. You can also make it hollow if you want, but better make it solid only. And then click on OK. So we have created this part and this part of the base. Now we need to create this particular part. So for this, just construct a plane at angle and then select this line over here. This is the line which we have used to create the pipe, but this can be used for creating a angular plane as well. But we don't want any particular angle. We just want a plane over there which is cutting the pipe in between. So we will provide the angle as 0 degree only and click on OK. Now on this surface, start creating a sketch. Just for convenience basis, hide the cam component and the shaft component so that we can only have the follower component visible, and obviously the base component. Now project the body of the follower component. This has been projected to the sketch, and also project the body of your base component. Now create a rectangle, a center rectangle. Select the midpoint of the follower's projected sketch, and we can find its midpoint, its center point, and then place it so that it is touching the projected sketch of your base. Okay, this much is sufficient. This looks good. Select this profile, right click, press pull, make it symmetric. Just give it a glance if it's covering the pipe or not. Let's extrude it somewhat more. Operation is join. Now let's check if any extra bodies are there. We can see that we have two bodies. So what we can do, we can use the combine command. Select this one, Let the operation be joined and do not check keep tools option here, otherwise it will create a duplicate body. So click on OK, and now we have a single body inside the base component. Now the only thing is remaining to create the assembly. But for this we need to ground at least one component. Let's ground the base so that all the other components are free to move. Let's revert the position. Now to create the as-built joint, you have to go to assemble toolbar and you can click on as-built joint, or you can use the keyboard shortcut Shift+J. Let's invoke this one, then select two components. Let's select the shaft and then the base. The joint type would be revolute, and then you have to snap to one point. You can either snap to this particular point of the shaft or you can snap to this point. That means either of the ends. Let's snap here. So we have created a relative motion between two components. Just animate it and see. This is the desired motion. Just click on OK. Next, we need to provide a relative motion between the cam and the shaft, so that the shaft and the cam revolves all together. That means when we are rotating the shaft, the cam should also rotate, or vice versa. So for this, again we will invoke the as-built joint, press Shift+J in the keyboard, select the cam and then select the shaft. Let's provide the motion as rigid. So as you can see, the cam and shaft are rotating along with each other. Let's revert the position. And then we need a relative motion between the follower and the base. Let's see the movement in the pre-made assembly so that you can have a clear idea what we are doing, why we are creating these joints. Just animate this one and see. This is the desired result. So here we need a slider joint between the follower and the base. So again, go to as-built joint, select the follower followed by the base, and let's provide the joint type as slider. Then select the snap point or snap surface or snap edge as this one, and we can have a slider motion between the base and the follower. And now when we rotate the cam, this follower is supposed to go up, which is not happening as of now because it is overlapping. Let's revert the position and use the same command, use the same procedure that we have been using for quite some time, that is contact sets. Just right click, provide new contact set between the cam and the follower. Let's select the bottom body because we are having two bodies in the follower, and click on OK. Now let's see, let's animate the model. Alright. As you can see, the follower moved along with the cam, but it got stuck in the top portion. So what we need is to provide joint limits to the slider. Just click on the rest option to 0 mm and click on OK. Now animate the model, and we have achieved the desired result. And this complete assembly was made with as-built joint, We have not used the simple joint anywhere.